The waiter stopped beside our table, his shadows stretching across the plates. My sister lifted her chin and announced loudly, "We're not paying for her, just so you know." A few diners gasped. Heat rushed to my face. My hands froze around my napkin. My name is Maris, 29 years old, and that night I walked into the restaurant hoping, foolishly, that maybe, for once, my family would treat me like I belonged at the same table. My mother insisted we have a nice dinner together, the first in months, so I came with a soft smile and low expectations. But Raya made sure even those expectations shattered. "You look tired. Rough week at your little job. Please don't order anything expensive. We don't want you crying later." Each comment cut deeper than the last. My mother kept staring at her menu, pretending not to hear. My brother chuckled quietly like it was entertainment. I pushed my food aside, appetite gone, my pulse loud enough to drown out their voices. Raya tapped the table dramatically when the bill came, waiting for her moment. And when the waiter finally spoke, the entire restaurant went still, as if bracing for what came next. I wasn't always the family embarrassment, at least not until my father died 3 years ago. After that, everything shifted, like the ground beneath us tilted, and I was the easiest one to push off balance. Raya stepped effortlessly into the role of golden child. I became the reminder of everything they didn't want to acknowledge. The daughter who worked hard but wasn't flashy, who didn't have a wealthy boyfriend, who didn't take Instagram-perfect vacations. Meanwhile, Raya's life looked like a curated highlight reel. New apartment, new heels every week, a new business venture, every time the previous one collapsed. My mother funded them all, draining savings my father left behind. If I ever questioned it, even gently, I became the villain. Maris is jealous. Maris wants handouts. Maris should focus on her own life. So I did. I kept my distance, worked my job, paid my rent, and spoke only when spoken to. But when Mom begged for a family dinner, I said yes, partly for her, partly out of a tiny hope that things could be normal again. Instead, the night unfolded like they had rehearsed it. Raya's smirk, my mother's silence, my brother's amusement, and then the waiter, holding the check like it carried a verdict, paused, looked at me, and said something none of us expected. The waiter's eyes moved slowly between all of us, and for a moment, the entire restaurant seemed to lean in. Raya folded her arms, already prepared to enjoy the spectacle she'd engineered. But he didn't look at her. He looked directly at me. "Ma'am," he said gently, "before I read this aloud, are you sure everything is all right?" Raya scoffed. "Oh, please. She's not a child. Just read it. We're not paying for her. She knows why." Humiliation crawled up my throat, but I kept my voice steady. "Go ahead," I told him. "I'm fine." Fine was a lie. Fine was a shield I'd carried my whole life. The rising pressure of the past year tightened around me, the way Raya criticized everything I did, the way my mother dismissed my achievements, the way my brother treated me like background noise. Every family gathering had become a stage where Raya performed superiority, and I played the unwilling prop. "Let's hurry," my brother muttered. "I've got plans." Of course he did. They all did. I was just the interruption. The waiter cleared his throat again, unfolding the small slip of paper tucked inside the check presenter. Raya leaned forward eagerly. And then he said it, loud enough for the tables nearby to hear. "This bill has already been paid, by someone at this table." Raya's smile faltered. For a full second, no one reacted. Raya blinked, confused. My brother frowned. My mother finally looked up. The waiter continued. "The payment was processed 20 minutes ago." A note was attached. Raya immediately snapped. "Well, it wasn't us. She definitely didn't pay. She can barely afford her own groceries." A few diners exchanged glances. Heat burned behind my eyes, but I kept still. The waiter lifted the note. My heartbeat kicked hard. He read aloud. "For the family who never lets me feel like family, enjoy your dinner. This is the last time you'll dine at my expense." Silence detonated across the table. Raya shot up from her chair. "What kind of sick joke is this? Maris, did you do this to embarrass us?" I stared at her. Why would I pay for people who don't even want me here? My mother hissed, "Lower your voice." But the damage was already done. The moment was public, loud, undeniable. People were watching. Phones lifted. A couple gasped. Raya leaned in, her voice trembling with rage. "You think you can humiliate me? In public?" Her mask cracked, the polished, perfect sister replaced by a furious, entitled stranger. My hands trembled, but not from fear. Because right then I realized something. This wasn't humiliation. This was opportunity. I walked out of the restaurant before anyone could stop me. The cold night air hit my face like a slap, but in a strange way, it cleared everything. For years, I absorbed every insult, every dismissal, every "be quiet" Maris. But watching Raya unravel in front of strangers, over something she orchestrated, made something inside me finally snap into place. I sat in my car, hands shaking, trying to breathe through the sting in my chest. Not because of what happened, but because I finally understood they would never stop unless I ended the cycle myself. And ending it wouldn't be loud. It wouldn't be dramatic. It would be precise. Raya depended on our mother's money she manipulated out of guilt and favoritism. She bragged constantly about her business investments, but I knew the truth. She was drowning in debt, hiding it behind curated Instagram photos and exaggerated success stories. And the best part? She used Mom's account for everything. Everything. An idea sparked, small, sharp, devastatingly clean. If Raya wanted to treat me like I was beneath her, then she could watch everything she stood on crumble from beneath her. I opened my phone and started the first step of my plan. The first step was simple: access. My mother had once added me as a secondary user on her financial accounts, so I could help pay bills after Dad died. She forgot she never removed my access. Raya definitely forgot too. I logged in, heart steady now, not out of malice, but clarity. Every transaction told a story. Designer purses, weekend trips, business investments that were clearly just parties. And worst of all, overdue payments hidden under mislabeled categories. Mom had no idea her savings were evaporating, but Raya did. For months, I gathered every screenshot, every fake invoice, every debt notice linked to Mom's name. My fingers moved calmly, almost rhythmically. This wasn't revenge out of rage. This was justice wrapped in truth. Next step, a meeting. I emailed Mom using her own account, forwarding the documents with a simple line: "You deserve to know who's really using your money." Then I scheduled it Sunday morning at the bank with a financial advisor, a place Raya couldn't talk her way out of. When the confirmation came through, I finally allowed myself a slow breath. Raya wanted to humiliate me in public? She had no idea the kind of stage I was about to put her on. And the audience would be the one person she feared disappointing most. Sunday morning arrived with a strange, calm heaviness. I sat in the bank's waiting area, the documents neatly organized in a folder on my lap. When Mom walked in, she looked tired, older than I remembered. Raya trailed behind her, sunglasses on, jaw tight, clearly hungover. "Why are we here?" Raya snapped. "I have things to do." "You'll sit," Mom said quietly, "until we understand what's been happening with my accounts." Raya stiffened. The financial advisor started pulling up statements, one by one. Charges, late fees, multiple credit lines opened under Mom's identity, vacations disguised as work retreats, a $3,000 purchase labeled as charity donation that was actually a luxury handbag. Mom's face slowly collapsed. She looked at me once, not in accusation, but in realization. Raya lunged for the papers. "This is out of context." "Mom, she's manipulating everything." I didn't raise my voice. "Show her the emails from the debt collectors," I said softly. He did. Raya's breath hitched. The mask shattered completely. "Mom, please. I was going to fix it." My mother pushed her chair back, her hands trembling. "All this time, all the money, and you blamed her?" Raya's eyes widened in panic, finally grasping the truth. Her downfall had just begun. Raya collapsed back into her chair, her confidence evaporating into raw panic. Mom, please, just listen. She's doing this to hurt me. But Mom wasn't looking at her anymore. She was looking at me, really looking, as if seeing years of mistreatment all at once. I trusted you, she whispered to Raya. I defended you. I blamed Maris for your choices. Raya reached for her hand, but Mom pulled away. The advisor slid over one final document, the one Raya hadn't expected, a freeze order. Every account she used under Mom's name would be shut down by noon. Raya's face turned ghost white. Mom, you can't do this. How am I supposed to? You'll figure it out, Mom said, voice steady. Just like Maris figured out her life, without stealing from me. I stayed quiet. This wasn't the moment for gloating. This was the moment she finally faced the consequences she'd spent years dodging. Outside the bank, Mom touched my arm gently. I'm sorry, she said, for not seeing it sooner. And here was the twist I hadn't planned. I'm moving the rest of my accounts, she added, and I want you to manage them. You're the only one who's proven trustworthy. Behind us, Raya stood on the steps, stunned, broken, and finally unmasked. For the first time in my life, I walked away feeling seen and free.